I'm your friendly neighbor Web-Warrior Fanatic, and in today's video, I'll be going over my top 10 favorite heroes to play in the pool aspect in Marvel Champions. If you guys are enjoying my Marvel Champions content, please don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out. Let's jump into here, and as usual, for every single hero that I'll be going over, we'll also go over an example deck list for hero that I will put in the description of this video right here. So hero number 10 that I love to play in the pool aspect is Doctor Strange. If you guys know me, you guys know I love the pool aspect, and I also like Doctor Strange in a pool aspect. And the main thing for Doctor Strange is going to be with this hero ability right here. Spell Mastery. That's the action you can exhaust Doctor Strange, and then you pay the cost of the top card of the invocation deck, and you resolve the special ability of that card. Everybody knows how Doctor Strange works, but one thing with this is that this is not actually playing that card. You are triggering Doctor Strange's hero ability to trigger the special of the invocation card. So for example, you have their 5 invocations right here. So if you have the Crimson Bands of Satrek on top, you just trigger the special right here, and you'll place this card on the invocation deck discard pile, and you show the next card of the invocation deck, face up. So whenever Doctor Strange uses that, he's like paying 2 costs right here for his card. He's also going to exhaust himself, and then you trigger the special there, right? So after you do that, you lose some resource from your hand, right? If you spend like 2 resources from your hand, you can then play a mulligan here. So that's the main combo here with the pull aspect with Doctor Strange. The main synergy with the deck is it's a 3-cost event. You cannot play this card if you play another card's face, and as an action, you discard your hand and draw a new hand up to your hand size. So normally, mulligan, it's pretty balanced because you can't play this card you play another card's face. So it has to be the first card you play. So you're losing other resource in your hand to replenish on a new hand. But Doctor Strange, the really fun thing about him is that you can actually use invocations. You're not playing them if you're using his hero ability to, trigger the effects of the invocations. And they might often cost, 2 costs with the Crimson Bands. The images of Icon cost like 1 resource, right? So you might spend some resources to trigger the special here. You're now no longer having your, hand size of 5. If you spend like 2 resources, you have 3 cards left. If you have enough, like a resource generator or something like that, to play a mulligan, you can now draw back up to a fresh hand, and essentially you got off the invocation without paying any resource because you get up back to a 4 hand, drawing back up with your mulligan there. And that is just super duper fun. I even like flipping down to Alt Ego and then playing mulligan because actually you can use an Alt Ego. So you draw back up to your hand size of 6 in Alt Ego with this because your hand size in Alt Ego is, a little bit higher than it is in hero form. Yeah, just super duper fun. And I mean, Doctor Strange has got a lot of cool things that work off with the pull aspect as well. With Get Ragey to write up an ally, this can write up Wong to have him trigger his effect again. And then, the triple resources are always good. Nothing in particular with Doctor Strange and triple resource because here it has, good economy with the Winds of Watum. But yeah, I mean, just a mulligans is like the main thing with Strange in the pull aspect, and this card pops off like crazy for Doctor Strange, and I highly recommend trying him in the pull aspect if you have not already. Let's go over my 9th favorite hero to play in the pull aspect, and that's actually going to be Hulk here. This is called Hulk Skywalker, and this is not a powerful deck. I think for every other deck that I've recommended, for this series, it's been a deck that can at least take down Expert Magneto, Expert Ronin, or Expert Venom Goblin. This deck, I mean, I took down Expert Ronin with this deck, but I said it several times that it took a million tries. So this is not a strong deck. This is like a very janky, just for fun type of deck here. So we're playing Hulk, and we're leaning all into the super negative cards here with those negative icons, right? So yeah, it just rushing the villain down. Because Hulk, he is a decent rush hero, so I was able to eventually take down Ronin, in true solo, but it took forever. And it's not a very reliable deck, but I do really like the triples here for Hulk. Because you got, Hulk has very expensive cards, so with the triple resource, if you can keep his hit points up high, then you can use these as doubles or even triples if he's at full life to pay for all of your expensive cards like your Hulk smashes, right? So on turn 1, Hulk Smash, you can play this with a triple resource or like something else if you have like enough economy to play this. But normally for Hulk, it's very difficult for him to even get out one Hulk Smash, even endgame, because I mean his hands has only 4 in hero form, And then you just want to get all your nasty stuff out. You want to play to live dangerously. It doesn't matter. You want the +2 hand size for Hulk to get more economy. You need to get all these bad cards because, if it's extra damage from extra counter cards, we just take it to face. We have 18 life. Christ Icon, we're not thwarting anyways. Amplified, that doesn't matter. We're just going to stack on all the negative stuff and just see what happens here with Hulk. So you do need to get lucky with it, but eventually we want to get a laser swords to get +1 attack for all the negative icons, even if you don't have your side scheme out. Hulk's probably going to leave a bunch of side schemes that have negative icons in play anyway, so you're probably going to get a boost with that. And you can only afford this with the triples, so it's not like a crazy, good deck or anything like that, but it's really fun getting off your I got this with all the negative icons in play because Hulk cannot thwart and clear out those side schemes, so we just leave everything in play, leaning full into the negative risky icons in the pool aspect, just playing that with Hulk. Going crazy there. So yeah, that's my 9th favorite hero to play in the pool aspect. Let's move on to my 8th favorite hero to play in the pool aspect, and that's going to be Spider-Woman here. She's not a hero that I like that much, but in the pool aspect, I think that she works really well, especially in leadership here. So the main thing with Spider-Woman is that she can have 2 aspects when you're deck building with her. So you can choose the pool aspect and the leadership aspect. And if you do choose pool as one of your aspects, you do have to include the Crisis of Infinite Depth pools in that. In the encounter deck, I mean. So yeah, so the coolest thing with Spider-Woman is that these pool aspect allies, like if we look at, for example, Lady Deadpool, she has a amplify icon on her, so all the boost cards for villain are increased. And when defeated, you can defeat a non-elite minion. But the best thing about her is that her thwart stat and her attack stat, they don't have a consequential damage icon. So she does not take consequential damage when you activate with her. A lot of pool aspect allies have that same thing, right? Kid Pool also does not take consequential damage. Same with Head Pool here, right? So basically these allies, you can keep them in play forever. I mean, you do have that negative icon affecting tabling every single turn, but they can activate endlessly and they'll never go away. So they're really good to Voltron, right? You can buff them up with stuff like Inspired, giving an attached ally +1 thwart plus attack. You can put on Sidearm to give the ally, +1 more attack. And in Sky Cycle, you only give this to a Avenger ally, but you can exhaust Sky Cycle to rev the ally for them to activate again. And with the Honor Avenger, you can make your allies have the Avenger trait. So with all this stuff stacked on, you can get Kid Pool or Lady Deadpool to have 4 attack, and then activate twice in a turn with the Sky Cycle. And you have Get Readies or even Get Ragey. These are 0 cost readies, which is really good because if you ready up with these allies here, you're essentially running up your hero, because normally when you ready up an ally, it's cheaper with the 0 cost Get Ready because the ally takes console damage. But if you ready up an ally that doesn't take console damage and they have 2 attack or 2 thwart, that's essentially running up your hero that has 2 thwart or 2 attack. And especially if you build Lady Deadpool stats to having 4 attack, you play Get Ready, she does not take console damage. You can activate endlessly with her. That's just really powerful. So yeah, I really like Spider-Woman in the pool aspect with leadership as the other aspect to complement that. Yeah, just really buffing up the allies with the leadership cards and making them really powerful so that you can just build these super strong allies that never leave play. Let's move on to my 7th favorite hero to play in the pool aspect, and that's going to be Ant-Man. I'm going to give a huge shout out to one of my channel members, Evo, who put me on Ant in the pool, Ant-Man in the pool aspect. And Ant-Man has some really cool synergies in pool as well. Just like with Doctor Strange, he has a resource sink here, and this is actually a crazy underrated card. The Risk Guns is only a 1 cost upgrade. As a hero action, if you're in giant form, you can exhaust the Risk Gun and spend 2 physicals, stun enemy. In tiny form, you can exhaust, spend 2 energies, and confuse enemy. It's an on-demand status locking card, which is just crazy. And if you're using this card here, right, if you spend 2 physicals, you're not playing a card if you already have this card down on the table from a prior turn. So you can play mulligans on top of that and draw back up to your hand size, wherever that is, after spending a bunch of resources for your risk gauntlets here. So I really like doing that with Ant-Man. Another cool thing with Ant-Man is that these pool triples are really helpful to, pay for a bunch of your cards, right? If you're at full life, it's a triple resource, which will help Ant-Man pay for his Ant-Man's helmet. But also, Ant-Man gets a lot of healing benefits from the pool aspect without using your base recovery, which is one thing I really like about Ant-Man, is that whenever you're in your alter ego, when you change your alter ego, you can heal 1 damage from Scott Lang. Then with the Ant-Man's helmet here, after you change the giant form, you heal 2 damage from your hero, so you're getting a lot of healing there. Stack that with your healing factor, where when a player faces against you, heal 2 damage from your identity, you can potentially heal 4 or 5 damage in a turn, depending on like how often you're changing forms and all that stuff, which will keep your pool triples online all the time. And yeah, that is really good to help pay for all your stuff, like your allies and the mansion, queen care, helicare, all that stuff. So yeah, really enjoy aiming and the pool aspect for all those synergies there. Next, let's move on to my sixth favorite hero to play in the pool aspect, and that's going to be Iceman here, chilling by the pool. Iceman also has some really cool synergies in pool aspect. He is one of the heroes that really want a ready. So if you guys don't know about Iceman here, his hero ability is called Freeze. Let's ensure when Iceman makes a basic attack or basic defense against an enemy, you can attach a set-aside copy of Frostbite to an enemy. So he really wants to be basic attacking or basic defending to put a bunch of Frostbites on an enemy. So Iceman's got, in his identity-specific kit, he's got the Cryokinetic Perception, which is the main core key card for Iceman. You can resolve your freeze ability, exhaust a card, and you draw a card. If that card has the ice trait, you can read up Iceman. So it's contingent on whether or not it has the ice trait. Not the most reliable ready, although it gives you card draw, which is really good for 2 costs anyways. But we really want that ready as well to stack on the frostbites. So Stick-to-Itiveness is the only on-demand ready that Iceman can get, and a reliable on-demand ready, I mean. So they don't spend a physical to ready up every single turn is really helpful to Iceman to stack on more of those frostbites. Iceman also has one of the most expensive kits in Marvel Champions, so giving him access to the pool triples is really good for him. In addition to the power hollows, because we just want more economy for Iceman anyways. He's going to really need that economy to really buff him up. And he's one of those heroes that really wants to flip down. He's got the Frozen Solid here to allow you to, to flip down when an enemy would activate. You can discard Frozen Solid instead, and when you flip down to Alter Ego, you show your Alter Ego ability. Cool Off to add more consistency, adding those ice cards back into your deck. But Not My Responsibility is another great way for him to do that, to flip down safely. When a villain would scheme, you put all threat on an ally for them to take damage, and you can flip down, show your Alter Ego ability, heal, get all that stuff you need to get off, like your obligation if you need to do that as well. So yeah, I really enjoy Iceman in the pool aspect. My favorite aspect to play Iceman in as well for that on-demand ready. Yeah, just a really fun deck that I like with Iceman here. Moving on to my fifth favorite here to play in the pool aspect, and that's going to be Spider-Ham. I love the theme of the pool aspect with Spider-Ham, really wonky, really silly, and he's one of the heroes that really work with the pool aspect as well, with that ready from Stick-to-Itiveness. You got this ready here, and you also got his organic webbing here, where you can also exhaust his card to ready up Spider-Ham even further. So he's got 2 on-demand readies. You stack this with Peter Parker Spider-Man here, this ally that can ready up a Web-Warrior. You can ready up Spider-Ham even further for 3 readies. Then, if you give him the laser swords here, and you have your live dangerously in play, basically what we want to do is we want to play the laser swords, where you get +1 attack for each one of these negative icons. And when you're ready to burst down the villain, you play your live dangerously, you get it on table so that you get the +4 from laser swords. And then with all those readies, you're swinging for at least, 4+ if you have your wooden hammer down as well. You get your +1 attack with that. So like Spider-Man already has 2 attack with this, and then 2 + 4 is 6 attack. And then you can exhaust this to get +2, so you're swinging for 8. You ready up 1 time with this, swing for another 6, ready up again with this, swing for another 6, so you're at least swinging for 20 damage just on that table from that last turn. The moment that you play Live Dangerously, you can play other cards like Swing Web Pig, Swing Web Pig, you can do even more damage. If you got Peter Parker Spider-Man to ready you even further, you can do even more damage. Now it's able to get up to 66 damage here against Extra Venom Goblin with this deck, just calming off with the Laser Swords Live Dangerously combo. And Spider-Man is definitely one of the best heroes to do that with. Just synergizing with the pool aspect, being able to build out with the pool aspect and utilizing all the readies with the Stick-to-Itiveness and the laser swords here. So yeah, Yoda Ham, Spider-Ham, he's not the tallest, he's kind of short like Yoda, so we just call him Yoda Ham here for tons of damage here against Extra Venom Goblin. And this is very similar to my 4th favorite hero to play in the pool aspect. That's going to be Penny Parker SPDR. And I named this one the Robot Jedi. Almost exact same combo with Spider-Ham. These are actually 2 of the best heroes ever to do this with, because they both have access to an on-demand ready. Penny Parker's got the host spider here, and she's also got access to Peter Parker Spider-Man, this basic ally, which can also ready up a Web Warrior like Penny Parker. So the exact same thing as Spider-Ham. You got Stick-to-Itiveness for your on-demand ready. You got host spider for a second on-demand ready, and you got Spider-Man here for another on-demand ready. So when you play your Live Dangerously here with all these bad icons in play, you can really pop off with Laser Sword, getting plus a bunch of attack. And then, so the thing with SPDR is that you can do even more damage with her, because if you can line up your all systems go, you can ready up all your interface upgrades, which will ready up your host spotter even further and ready up all your resource generators as well. But the only difference between this and Spireham is that Spireham can more easily get set up in the pool aspect just because he's a strong hero. So he was able to get this set up against even Expert Venom Goblin for all his damage. SPDR already has set up her initial stuff, so it's kind of difficult for her to get that set up in addition to the pool aspect stuff. But if you are able to get it set up, if you're playing in multiplayer, it's way more easy to do that. Then you can really burst off for even more damage with this. But she'll utilize the pool triple resource a lot more to inspire him because she has all these expensive upgrades that she wants to play to get built out with like the host spider, with your psychic link, with your web fluid compressor, all this stuff. So having more resources to help pay for that is going to be really beneficial early game to get her online. So, if you can get the correct draw, you even accelerate her early game with the pull aspect with these triples, and her late game will be even better because of those all systems go, giving her even more additional rays. So she also really synergizes really well with the pull aspect. Moving on to my third favorite hero to play in the pull aspect. Of course, you guys know I gotta put in Deadpool here. Resource pool, you can really put anything with this, but I like to put web warriors because I'm the Web-Warrior Fanatic. Just putting a bunch of basic web warriors in this package right here. But really, the coolest thing about Deadpool is that he's got an alter ego. He has 9 hit points and he has 8 recovery. So you can easily, with just 1 recovery, heal all the way back up to your full life. When you do that, these pool triples are all online, being triple resource if you have sustained no damage. So I really like to just have him easily recover, heal all the way back up to full life, and then you have these triples almost at all times, which is just insanely powerful to have a bunch of triple resources that you can use for any card in your deck. That's just really good. So a bunch of allies here, a bunch of resource generators, easily getting built out, easily playing stuff like the Web Live Destiny because of our massive economy with these triple resources here. And Deadpool, he's one of the best heroes to utilize the triple resource with because he has such high hit points. And with this deck, I don't like to include endurance with it because I want to keep my max hit points at 9 so that I'm able to just with 1 recovery heal and go all the way back up to full life to keep those pool triple resources online. Another thing with this deck is that, Deadpool has got his Chimichanga Truck. So you really want to be making base recoveries with Deadpool because after you make a base recovery, you can exhaust Chimichanga Truck and immediately ready him back up. So it's just a free ready for a Deadpool with his massive 8 recovery set, which is the highest recovery in the game. And the symbiote suit here, this is the card that really helps Deadpool pop off because you get plus 10 hit points. You can use your 19 hit point pool to play a card like Max Effort and do 19 damage with it if you take 19 damage up to your main hit points to do that same amount of damage to an enemy. But for me, I don't like playing the symbiote suit until I'm ready for the kill. Whenever I have the final turn, I play the symbiote suit, and then I play the max effort, and I play the this card's fire in the same turn to do like, something like 37, 38 damage all in 1 turn because I want to go for that final kill and I don't want to take that hazard icon until I actually have that kill. So that's kind of how I set up here. You can easily play all of that in 1 turn because you got these pool triples that are always online. So yeah, I have a bunch of playthroughs here with this deck. Building out slowly is my preferred way to play with Deadpool. So we're building out all the stuff using the pool triples, and then when we have all the damage safely, that's when we go for a kill and destroy the villain there. So yeah, gotta mention Deadpool, of course, with the pull aspect because he's the hero pad that came with the pull aspect, and I think his base recovery stat just has the best synergy with these pull triples right here. Moving on to my second favorite hero to play in the pull aspect, and that's gonna actually be Adam Warlock here. This is my Puppet Master deck, and I think that the pull aspect has the biggest influence on this list. So Adam Warlock, you can include 4 aspects when you're deck building with him. If you do choose the pull aspect as one of your aspects, you must include the Crisis of Infinite Deadpools in the encounter deck whenever you're doing that. So the biggest thing there is that Adam Warlock, he is a big build-out hero. You got your Mystic Senses, which is like the main card for Adam Warlock. It's a 2-cost upgrade. And then you have 2 copies of these. After you resolve your Battle Mage ability, you can draw a card. So you want to be Battle Maging here, discarding a card from your hand. You don't have to discard an aspect card. You just have this card to trigger it. And if the card is one of the corresponding aspects here, aggression, justice, protection, or leadership, you can do that corresponding effect. You can discard a pull aspect card or even an identity specific card or even a basic card and still resolve Battle Mage even if you don't get the effect. So you can still prog Mystic Senses there by discarding a pull aspect card. But the cool thing with that is that as you do that, you can draw a card. So you're drawing 2 cards with your 2 Mystic Senses if you trigger Battle Mage 1 time. And you also have a bunch of build stuff here with the Karmic Staff, another 2-cost upgrade. You got his Warlock's Cape here, another 2-cost upgrade. Not a very upgrade for him, but just another upgrade there. So the pull aspect giving you a bunch of triples really help out Adam Warlock. So I really like the pull aspect cards there with him. And what I really like here is with his event here, the Quantum Magic. It's a one-cost event, as actually you can choose a card in your discard pile and add it to your hand. If you choose a pull triple right here and you add it to your hand, you are getting essentially a double resource, because this costs, 2 effective resources to play, right? So you are playing the Quantum Magic, using a resource in your hand to play, for example, but then you refund the actual card Quantum Magic in your hand with a pull triple. So you're just losing 1 resource. So you're still actually netting an extra resource if you need extra economy. So Quantum Magic is just such a super versatile card anyways, to help you grab like any ally that you want, like Maria Hill or Nick Fury in discard pile, or if you want like a Mystic Sense, you can grab that as well. So it's just an insanely powerful card, but you're losing out on a resource for that card because you have to actually pay resource to play this card. But if you have like a hand where you just need 1 extra resource to like pay for like an ally and have a resource generator, all in that same turn, well, this is perfect if you can get back a pull triple for that, because it's a triple resource and you're getting, you're just refunding it back to where you're essentially getting a double resource if you have full life. But one thing with Amora is that he's also one of those heroes that can easily be at full life because of your support here, Soul World, which is one of the best cards in the game, Marvel Champion. It's a 1-cost support. As a response, after your deck runs out of cards, you place a soul counter on here. As an R2 action, you can exhaust Soul World and remove a soul counter to heal all damage from your identity. So if you build an Adam Warlock to like a bunch of hit points, it doesn't even matter. Here it has, 11 printed hit points, which is pretty high. You can heal all the way back up to full without exhausting with your Soul World there, and then all these pull triples are back online again. So Adam Warlock is one of those heroes that you can easily keep at full life. For that, you can use a Not My Responsibility to help you flip down easily to access your Soul Warrior here. Sorry, Sesame is trying to click buttons from behind a laptop. But yeah, just tons of synergy there with the pull aspect with Adam Warlock, and I think it really helps him unlock all his other aspect synergies with all the other cards here. So yeah, really love Adam Warlock and pull aspect. I think it has the most influence on the way you play him compared to any other one of the aspects, because you have to have an even number of aspect cards of each aspect when you're playing with them. So if you do choose Adam Warlock, sorry, that's me playing around more. If you do choose Adam Warlock in the pull aspect, you have to make sure that you keep the same amount of pull aspect cards as all the other aspect cards. So like I have 5 pull aspect cards in this deck, so I gotta have 5 leadership cards as well, 5 justice, and then 5 aggression, and I replace the protection cards here with that. So we only have the 4 aspect there with 5 cards in each of those aspects. Moving on to my favorite hero to play in the pull aspect. You guys probably already know this if you guys follow my channel, but it's gonna be She-Hulk. I think She-Hulk just has one of the best synergies with the pull aspect. I list all synergies right here. I'm gonna give a huge shout out to my channel members, Ritzy Rios, who put me on She-Hulk in the pull aspect, and this just really helped me click She-Hulk in the pull aspect, just like one of the best like synergies for a hero. I literally think that She-Hulk was like the pull aspect was made with She-Hulk in mind. It makes perfect sense because she's like very Deadpool like. She's breaking the fourth wall. It makes sense that the pull aspect synergizes so well with her. So here we have all these synergies here. Cut Upper is an efficient way to stun for the villain right here, right? It's a 3-cost event. You do 5 damage to enemy, stun the enemy. It's a better version of Uppercut. So Superhuman Strength's ruling right here, this is a card for She-Hulk. It got changed to where if you are attacking enemy, so this is an upgrade where She-Hulk gets +2 attack. As a 4 response after She-Hulk attacks, you discard the Superhuman Strength and you stun the attacked enemy. They changed ruling to here where if you cannot stun the attacked enemy because they're defeated or if they're already stunned, then you actually get to keep Superhuman Strength on you. So She-Hulk already has a base attack stat of 3 here. If you play 1 copy of Superhuman Strength, you have 5 attack. And if you already stun an enemy with Cut Upper, then they stay stunned whenever you attack them with your base attack, which is really good. Then you had Not My Responsibility. Allowing her to flip down to Alter Ego and access your 6-card hand size. Combine this with her Alter Ego ability, I Object. She can prevent all threat from single villain phase, right? You flip down to Alter Ego. The villain adds a threat. You use I Object. When threat will be placed on a scheme, prevent one of the threat. Then when the villain actually schemes, you play Not My Responsibility. When any amount of threat is placed on a scheme, you are allocated as damage instead. Prevent all the threat from villain phase. That's just really good. Then for She-Hulk here, for her economy, she has pretty bad economy, only a 4-card hand size in her hero form, 6-card hand size in Alter Ego, but you need to play your Focus Rages to build your economy, and this costs 3. So how do you play this without any like initial economy boom? Well, with the pull triples here, giving you a boost your economy here is really good. Then you also have the healing factor for She-Hulk because She-Hulk's often taking a bunch of damage to the face with her 15 life. And then healing Tic-Tac-Toe also giving her more additional healing to keep these full triples online. Then Stick to Itiveness is one of the best readies for She-Hulk. If you guys have played She-Hulk from the core set, you guys have probably been in a situation where you want to play your 1-2 punches, right? But you can't because you're already exhausted with like an exhaustion or something like that. So as a response, after you make a basic attack, you can ready up She-Hulk. You have to be readied up to actually get this card to work because you have to actually make a basic attack and then play this as a response after that. And if you're already exhausted, you can't do it. Well, the Stick to Itiveness is perfect for that because even if you're already exhausted, you can spend a physical resource, ready up She-Hulk, then you can attack with She-Hulk, then you can pop off your 1-2 punch and do a bunch of more attacks, stacking all that on. Yeah, guys, I love She-Hulk with the pull aspect there. Yeah, she's just really fun. I love all the synergies that she's got with all the resource sinks, with her split personality here as well, because you can use resource sinks and then play this card, drop it up to your hand size. Yeah, she is like perfect synergy with the pull aspect. It really feels like this aspect was made for her. And I even have another deck here talking about how to play the pull aspect with She-Hulk. This was like a super, old deck 2 years ago, because a lot of people, when the pull aspect came out, people were very against the pull aspect, but I think that a lot of people have come more around to it now. But yeah, it's a super duper duper fun aspect, synergizing really well with She-Hulk. And even if you just have only the core set card pool, this is a deck that you can build here that's just really fun to play with just core aspect cards and the Deadpool hero pack with the pull aspect. Just popping off with Shield with all these fun synergies right here. So yeah, that's gonna round out my 10 favorite heroes to play in the pull aspect. Let me know down in the comments as usual which one of these decks have you played, which one of these heroes that you really enjoy in the pull aspect, and if I miss out any heroes, let me know down in the comments as well what's your favorite hero to play in the pull aspect. I hope you guys all enjoy this video, and I'll see you guys all in the next one.